What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and we're out here with the Megane once again. This time talking tyres. Now, I've been meaning to get these changed for a long time, and obviously the Michelin PS4 being the #1 go-to, I went for something a little bit different. So we're going to get out here today and we're going to test these tyres out. I'm going to let you know what they're like. So let's jump into it. So, as I mentioned in the intro, I didn't go for the most popular PS4S tyre. I went with the Goodyear Eagle F1 SUPERSPORT. Now, there's many reasons in doing so. One of them being price. When I was looking at getting the tyres at the time, I had the obviously the Bridgestones before this, and I was looking at the PS4S, and for the PS4S in the exact same size as this, all round was about 70 quid a corner more. So I didn't have that kind of money to drop on tyres at the time, so this came out a lot cheaper, and obviously checking tyre reviews alongside it, these are basically the closest competitor you can get to the PS4S. So let's run into a quick couple of characteristics and then we'll get out on the road and see what they're like. So a lot of this video today will be in comparison to the PS4S, obviously not on this car, but as things go, and tyre reviews, which I will leave in the comments of the direct comparison between the two. So first thing, the Eagle F1 has a stiffer sidewall, which is why it's marked down slightly on the graphs that I'll put up on screen for you guys now. As you can see, very close to the PS4S, this tyre in general, but where a couple of things it lacks is on comfort, because obviously the stiffer sidewall means that it is not as comfortable as daily, for your daily driver. And the wear, apparently the wear is a bit more aggressive on these than the PS4S. So obviously when you weigh those things up, you have to try these things for yourself and see how they come out. A good thing that the PS4S and these Goodyears have in common is they are both fantastic in the dry and the wet. According to tyre reviews that I will leave in the description, where the direct comparison of the two, he said these are even better in the wet than the PS4S. So I mean, we live in England, so it pretty much rains 80% of the time, so a day like this with the sunshine and stuff is a rare day. Now, another thing mentioned in the tyre review, these tyres are a lot better at managing heat on track. So if you're thinking of taking these tyres on track but also using it as your daily, these are the ones to go for, apparently, according to those guys. Like I say, as they threw as much heat as they could at this tyre, and it didn't fade whatsoever, so that's a good thing. So now you've got the lowdown of the tyre, there's not really much else to say other than get it out on the road and actually feel what it feels like to drive with these tyres on. Obviously, coming from the Bridgestones, I'm expecting big things. As you guys know, I wasn't a fan of it, and a lot of you guys with the Meg and the Bridgestones are also not a fan. So let's get out on the road and see what these guys are all about. Right, so let's start with everyday driving. Obviously, you have to take into consideration that the Megane is a fairly stiff format anyway. The ride is actually not as bad as I was expecting. Obviously, I've had the tyres now a couple of weeks, so I have had a chance to get a couple of heat cycles in them and get the, just get them worn in a little bit before I started doing these sort of road tests. But as like I say, as an everyday driver, just cruising along, they're no louder than the Potenza. If anything, they're a little bit quieter. They're not as crashy, I noticed as well, going over drains or like potholes, or sort of small potholes, or just divots in the road. The actual initial bump itself is not as crashy, which is nice, which I wasn't really expecting as well, seeing as these got a write-up that they are, obviously like the stiffer sidewall and stuff means that they're not as comfortable as a PS4S. Obviously, again, can't comment on the PS4S because I haven't felt a Meg with the PS4S on, but first impressions of general riding is really nice. Now, being a 245 tyre, obviously you've got to expect some road noise. By no means are these silent, but are they livable? Absolutely. Are they, invasive to the cabin? Not really. It's just one of those things. Obviously, when you're cruising, you're going to hear it more because obviously, like I say, I'm in neutral right now, so I've got the valve shut. I'm just cruising along, everyday driving, just to feel what they're like to be used as an everyday tyre as well as a sporty tyre. Obviously, we'll get round to some B roads in a minute and we'll see what they're really like when you put under some pressure. But first impressions, like I say, really, really nice tyre. Very informative as they go. And like I say, obviously not too much road noise. Definitely livable road noise, considering if you're buying a sporty car, you're not really buying it for, you know, to be quiet and, you know, just blend in, if you will. Now, if you want to see a direct comparison video of the PS4S up against the Eagle F1 Supersports, then I will leave the link to the tyre review down in the description. But I will be cross-referencing parts from that because obviously he's had a lot more testing time on both tyres and stuff, and a lot more comparative. So I will obviously be taking some of those things into consideration, some of the things that he said, some of the things that these do. So that being said, apparently these aren't as lively from the off. So PS4S will be much more ready with minimal heat warming up of the tyres. So I'm going to get some heat in these tyres and we're going to hit these B roads and see what they're all about. Right, so first impressions is how stable they are mid-corner. Notice that instantly from the Potenza. The Potenza had a tendency to kind of, it wasn't like lift off oversteer, but it was, I don't know whether it's the rear wheel steer coming in, but there was definitely something causing like mid-corner instability with those Potenzas. Yeah, these feel so stable, and it gives you so much confidence mid-corner. Turning, obviously that was only like a kind of mid-corner, so turning felt lively, but obviously I'm going to get into some more tighter corners and we're going to see how they pull out of tighter corners. But first impressions, yeah, these are so informative and so predictable, I guess being the right word. Pardon me. Predictable, yeah, you can like sense what it's doing, and there's so much information through the wheel now that I just wasn't getting before, which I'm absolutely stoked about, because that is one of the most important things I feel with a front wheel drive hot hatch, is you need to know what's going on at all times through the wheel, because obviously that is your key to feel, other than obviously what your bum's feeling, obviously feeling through the wheel what your front wheels are doing and like how much grip, and obviously when the LSD's paired in with that as well, there's just so much grip. Let's see from low down. Didn't even spin. Didn't even spin. Okay, so that was from standstill, as little as, well, basically standstill. Just planted my foot, sport mode, so obviously traction control is on, but it didn't actually show up. 0 spin. If that was a Potenza's, 100% on a cool day today, it's 11 degrees ambient today, 100% I would have spun the front wheels in first and probably into second, but as you heard, it gripped up and it got gone, and that felt real good. I mean, this car was capable as it was, but with these, like, it just, like the turning, the way it comes out of the corner like that, it's so precise, and you can really lean on it. Like I say, better let this guy go past. Being able to lean on these like this is just, it's taking this car to a whole nother level. I mean, look at this. There's just absolutely bundles of grip. Like, you can see why these are such a popular choice. Obviously, if the PS4S is anything to go by, you know, with these, then I mean, I'm sold. You know, I mean, like I say, I'd need a direct comparison to go between the PS4S and these. The way these inform you of what's going on underneath, like I say, I've got a bit of heat in them now, and they're not even, look at that, they're not even, I mean, super impressive. And obviously this is, again, like, this might not seem like much to you guys, but having the ability to be able to drive a top-end hot hatch like this with great rubber, you know, is just, you know, it's second to none. And for those guys out there that are umming and ahhing about getting some top-end tyres, if you want this experience, if you want the ultimate experience in your Megane, don't mess around. Don't mess around with any sort of like mid-range PS4s or anything like that. Like, great tyre, sure, but the way these do things will make you, it will blow your mind. It will blow your mind. Right, so before the video goes on a little bit too long and stuff, thanks for watching as per usual. Obviously, keep your eyes peeled because the next Meg stuff coming is going to be sick. It's going to be the big stuff. So obviously, Road to Remap continues in the next couple of weeks. I'll get those videos recorded and uploaded as quickly as possible for you guys, because obviously that will be, you know, the end game will be to get the car remapped and see what she makes. So hoping for north of 340. That seems to be the ballpark that people are going, but I'm more interested in the torque. That low end torque is going to be where we want it, and obviously 100 newton meters odd on top of what it's already running is going to feel rapid. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe as you always do. Hit the bell notification to find your way back, and I'll catch you in the next one.